Afternoon.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon, ma'am.
Good afternoon. So we are last class we discussed about Mandal Commission, right?
Yes,
Mandal
ma'am.
Commission and oppositions against Mandal Commission. And now we are going to discuss about what do you mean by a political institution? Have you heard about the term political institution?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. What do you mean by a political institution? Anyone?
Ma'am, like parliament.
Ah, like parliament, right? That means, see, governing of a country involves so many processes are there. Controlling, governing a country involves various activities. That means the government want to look after the welfare of the people. They want to collect the taxes. They want to implement the policies for the people. So a lot of procedures and a process involves in the governing of a country. Example, at the time of Corona, you can see that. You know that the government did a lot of things for the people, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes or no? Why?
Yes,
Because it is
ma'am.
a responsibility of the government to ensure the welfare of the citizen, provide them with better health facilities and educational facilities. For that, how the government is collecting money? Through taxes and other methods, the government is collecting money. So, for governing a country, we have so many institutions. One is there to implement, one is to take the decision how to rule the country, how to govern the country. Another institution is there to implement their decision. And if there is any conflict between any individual or any institution, another institution is there to solve it. So they're working, the country is working within an institution. In the case of India, if we are analyzing, you can see that there is one body to make the law for all. Which body is that?
Par-
Parliament. And another body is there to implement the law, which is that? Which body is implementing the laws?
Judiciary.
Law implementing. It's not judiciary. It is the executive.
Yes,
Execution
ma'am.
of law. Executive is implementing the law. And what is the judiciary will do? If there is any conflict is there, it will resolve it. That is judiciary, or judiciary will interpret the law. So every country is working within this political institutions. Sometimes in a democratic country, if you analyze, you can see that so many rules and regulations each of these political institutions want to follow, and it leads to a lot of delay in decision making. Okay. At the time of Corona, you can see that in China, within 2 weeks, they constructed a hospital. But in India, it is not so possible to do that. Sometimes for taking a decision, it will take time. But such type of institutions help to reduce the bad decisions. Even though it is time consuming, it helped to reduce bad decisions. So the next topic we are going to discuss is about political institutions. And the political institutions. So in India, the political institutions are arranging and carrying all the tasks of the country. They are doing all the work for the country. In India, the political institutions are arranging and carrying all the tasks of the country. In modern democracy, we call these arrangements as institution. These arrangements include parliament, executive, and judiciary. Okay. So in
Yes, ma'am.
India, the political institutions are arranging and carrying all the tasks for the country. The parliament is making the law, executive is implementing the law, judiciary is interpreting the law. So for the country, they are carrying out the task, and we call them as institutions. And this institution include three branches. One is parliament, other is executive, and the another one is judiciary. What do you mean by parliament? Parliament. Have you
Ma'am,
heard
which
about
in
parliament?
which
Mm.
laws are decided?
Laws are,
Laws are made.
yes, it is a law-making organ of the government. Then what all things you know about parliament?
There are two sections in Parliament:
Two houses in parliament. Which are they?
Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha.
Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Okay, then
Lok Sabha is known as the House of the People.
Lok Sabha, House of People. Okay.
Rajya Sabha, House of Legislative
Uh,
Legislatures.
no. Lok Sabha is a House of People and Rajya Sabha is a Council of States.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Then
Lok Sabha is called lower house and Rajya Sabha is called upper
upper
house.
house. Okay, very good. So as you said, the first point, it is a lawmaking body of the government, right? Parliament is a lawmaking body of the government, but the decisions are not directly taken in the parliament, but parliament decisions are influencing the report. If the government is taking any decision, the parliament will influence it. Normally, the decisions are taken by the ministry or an important role in influencing it. Okay, so the first institution we are going to discuss. So, which are the political institutions? Which are the political institutions?
Ma'am, Parliament,
Parliament,
Judiciary and
Judiciary and
judiciary and
Executive.
executive. Don't forget it, okay? Which are the
Yes,
political
ma'am.
institutions in India? Parliament, judiciary and executive. So now we are going to discuss about the first one, that is parliament. So the three branches of government, that this thing you studied, right? The branches of government or the separation of power. Heard about separation of power? 8th standard, your politics first chapter. Separation of power. One of the most important key feature of Indian constitution is separation of power. Okay, Adidev. Okay, separation of power. That is children. Again, so many videos of. So the first one is parliament. So the three branches of government are, which are the political institutions? Same answer: legislature, executive, and judiciary. So in India, there are three important political institutions. Which are the three important political institutions? First one is the parliament or the legislative. Parliament or the legislative. The prime minister and the cabinet ministers that take all important policy decisions. In the legislature, in the parliament, the minister and the cabinet ministers are there to take the important policy decisions. Then coming to the executive, the civil servants working together and responsible for taking steps to implement the minister's decision. And judiciary, it is a Supreme Court, is an institution where the dispute between the citizens and government are finally settled. So in the political institution, we have three major organs are there. They are carrying out all the works. One is parliament. The parliament include the prime minister and the cabinet ministers. They take all important policy decisions. In the case of our country, if you analyze, you can see that all the important decisions are taken by the ministers, prime minister, and the cabinet. Then
Yes, ma'am.
executive. Executive include the civil servants, that is the government servants. Don't think that civil servants means only the civil service officers, okay? All the civil servants means all the people who are working in the government sector are coming under the civil servants, and they are working together and are responsible for taking steps to implement the minister's decision. See, suppose in the health department, if ministry take a decision, okay, from the health department, the ministry take a decision, and who is executing that?
The
The
executive.
executive is executing that. If any dispute is there, who is to solve that? Judiciary is there to solve the dispute. So that are the three important political institutions. The three major political institutions are parliament, executive, and judiciary. Now we are going to discuss in detail in this chapter. We are going to discuss in detail about the three political institutions. Then parliament, as you said, same as the parliament for in India, one body is there for Kerala, right? Which is it? For ruling the states.
Mem High Court.
State parliament is there for the country. We have both MPs and only we are electing
MLA.
MLA. We are electing. We have both the central government and the state governments, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So we, for a country, especially for a federal country, we have both the central and the state governments are there. So two houses are also there. One is parliament, and we what we call for the state assemblies. What's its name? Legislature. Very good. That is the state legislative assemblies. It is easy to remember. MP for member of parliament, and MLA means member of
Member of Legislative Assembly.
Assembly. So one is parliament and the other is legislative assemblies. So coming to parliament, in all democracies, an assembly of elected representatives exercise the supreme political authority on behalf of people. In every country, in all the democratic form of government, an assembly of elected representatives, they are exercising the supreme political authority on behalf of the people. In India, such a national assembly is called as parliament. In India, such a national assembly is called as parliament. That means an elected representatives in the parliament. It include the elected representative. Our parliament include, or our national assembly include both the elected representatives. So all the democracies, an assembly of elected representatives are there to exercise the supreme political authorities. To exercise the supreme political authority for the people. So we called it as parliament. Same way the body of elected representatives at the state level is called legislative assembly. So the body of elected representatives at national level is called parliament, and the body of elected representatives at state level is called legislative assemblies.
Yes, ma'am.
Parliament, yes, parliament is a body of elected representatives at national level, okay. The body of elected representatives at national level is parliament, and the body of elected representatives at state level is called legislative assembly. Then a question is there, why do we need a parliament? Or this may be a question for the exam, or the question like that, how the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people, or why do we need a parliament? How the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people, or why do we need a parliament? Why do we need a parliament? What is the first important function of the parliament?
It gives guidelines and rules to guide a country or a state.
Okay. Then what is their first duty? What they are doing there? Parliament is called the
House of the
law-making
people.
body, right? It is a
Yes, ma'am.
law-making body. That's the first important point. So children, the question may be how the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people, or why do we need a parliament? First one, the parliament is the final authority for making law. Law Lawmaking. Parliament, how the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people. First one is lawmaking. The parliament is the final authority for making laws in any country. It can also change the existing law. Not only making law, it can change the existing law or abolish the existing law and also make a new law. So parliament can make new laws or they can change the existing laws. So the first, we need a parliament or how the parliament exercise its political authority. First one is law making. It can change the existing laws or abolish the existing laws or make new laws. Second one, it have the control over the government. Second point is control over the government. No decisions can be taken by the government without the approval of the parliament. In the countries like India, the parliament have a full control over the government. Our government cannot take any decisions without the approval of parliament. If the parliament is not approving to that, the government cannot take a proper decision. So the first point is law making. Second one is control over the government. Control over the government. Next one is the parliament have control over the money matters. See, the government cannot spend the money without the approval of the parliament. That means if the government want to spend the money, it needs the approval of parliament. Only if the parliament sanctions, the government can spend the money. Otherwise, the government cannot spend the public money. So parliament, that way also the parliament is controlling. First one is law making. The parliament is making the law. They can change the existing law or they can make a new law or they can abolish an existing law. If they feel that one law is against the community, they can abolish it. Or if they feel that a new law is needed for the society, they can make it. And also if they feel that any changes want to make in a law, they can also do it. So that is the first important one, law making. Second one is control over the government. The parliament have a direct and a full control over the government. No decision can be taken by the government without the approval of parliament. Third one, in the money matters. The money matters, the government cannot spend a single pie without the approval of the parliament. For spending the money, they need the sanction of the parliament. Then the last one is, it is the highest forum of discussion and debate on public issues and national policies in any country. It is the highest forum of decisions and debates on public issue. If any issue, any public issues are there, any public issue, it will be discussed in the parliament. Okay, any public issue. Last time, and you heard about the life and all in Kerala, one project,
ma'am.
life project. See, you can see that in the parliament, when the parliament started, the opposition party come up with non-confidence and all. Last time, not last time, that means in July, no, August, September, August last week. That means at the time you can see that they come up with non-confidence. So if they feel that any problem the people are facing, if any policies or decisions of the government is against the interest of the people, it is the largest forum. There in the parliament, the people are discussing and debating on this types of public issues. Okay. That is also there. The
Yes, ma'am.
parliament is the highest forum of discussion and debate on public issues and national policy in any country. Children, my voice is too low for all.
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
No. Okay, maybe network issues. So, how the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people, or why do we need a parliament? Answer is, it is a final authority of lawmaking. One is lawmaking. Second one is control over the government. Third one is in the money matters, parliament control the government. And the last one is, it is the highest forum of discussion and debate on public issues and national policy. Making law means parliament is a final authority to make a law. If they want to change the existing law, they can change it. If they abolish a law, they can abolish it. If they want to make a new law, they can do it. Next is control over the government. In India, the parliament have a direct and a full control over the government. The government cannot take a decision without the approval of parliament. In the case of money matters, the government need the approval of the parliament. Without the sanction of the parliament, the government cannot spend a single pie. Then parliament is the highest forum of discussion and debate on the matters related to on public issues and the policies related to national interest. That is, why do we need a parliament, or how the parliament exercise political authority on behalf of the people. Clear, children, the 4 points? Yes or no? Vishnu Priya, can you say the
Yes,
4
ma'am.
points? Vishnu
Yes,
Priya?
ma'am.
Yes.
Ma'am, Parliament have control over money usage.
Money matters. Okay, don't change the terms. Money matters. Then?
Money matter. Then I don't remember.
Why? Now only I thought. Are you are not here?
I'm there, ma'am.
Then why? Rifa?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Parliament is the final authority to make laws.
Yes.
And
That point you can cut short and say lawmaking.
yes, ma'am. From it is the it controls all the money transactions in the whole
Money
country.
matters. Yes.
Money matters in the whole country.
The government cannot spend a single pie without the approval of the parliament. Always remember it. Okay. Then.
Yes, ma'am. The whole country is governed by parliament. Like the whole country.
Like that, the point. I'm not able to hear you, Rifa.
And parliament is the highest forum in the country.
Highest forum of what?
For
highest forum for debate
debate
and discussions. Highest forum for debate and discussions. So children, please be here when we are explaining the points. The parliament, it is a law making body. That means it is making the new law, or it can change the existing laws, or they can abolish the existing laws. Then control over the government. Okay, not control over the country. It is a control over the government. No decisions can be taken without the support of parliament. Then it have the control over the money matters, and it is the highest forum of discussion and debates on public issues. Vishnu Priya, clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am. In between you went somewhere, right? Okay. Then coming to the two houses of parliament. Which are the two houses of parliament?
Lok Sabha and
Lok Sabha and
Rajya Sabha.
Rajya Sabha. Yes, the points you already said. Lok Sabha is called as the lower
House of the
house.
People.
And who is electing the members to Lok Sabha?
We
Ma'am,
the
state
people.
legislators. Allah,
We the
we the
people.
people.
We the people, that is the members to the Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people. And what about Rajya Sabha?
State
State
legislators.
legislative.
Yes, very good. From the state legislative assemblies, they are electing the members to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is called as the upper house, right? Or the council of state, and Lok Sabha is called as a lower house. But which is the most powerful one, Lok Sabha or Rajya Sabha?
Lok Sabha.
Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is more powerful than Rajya Sabha. But by name, we feel that Rajya Sabha is more powerful. But actually, in powers, Lok Sabha is more powerful because most of the powers are vested to Lok Sabha than Rajya Sabha. Okay, coming to the two houses. Parliament, it include, always remember, the president, Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. So the parliament play a crucial role in all democratic form of government. And the large countries divide the role and power of parliament into two parts. One is called the large countries divide the role and power of the parliament into two parts. They are called chambers or houses. Okay. The country is divided into two houses or two chambers. One is one house is directly elected by the people and exercise the real power, and the second house elected indirectly and perform some special functions. Okay, which house is directly elected by the people? It is Lok Sabha. And the indirectly elected house and which perform some special functions are
Rajya Sabha.
Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha. So the lower house is called Lok Sabha and the upper house is called Rajya Sabha or Council of States. Rajya Sabha is also called as Council of States. The two houses of parliament, one is Lok Sabha and the other is Rajya Sabha. So the parliament play a central role in all the democracies, and the large countries like India, it is divided into two houses. We call it as Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha. Lok Sabha is called as the lower houses in where the people are directly the representatives are directly elected by the people, and coming to Rajya Sabha, it is elected indirectly and perform some special functions. Lok Sabha. Then coming to Lok Sabha, it is directly elected by the people and exercise the real power. What is the total maximum strength of Indian Parliament, Indian Lok Sabha?
Ma'am, 527.
552. That is not at present I am asking. The maximum strength. Okay. As per our constitution, the maximum strength of our parliament is 552. Out of that, 530 members are the elected members and the 12 are the
Elected by the president.
20. Sorry, out of 552, 530 members are elected from the states, 20 members are elected from the union, and 2 members are nominated by the president. Okay. So don't be confused with this. The maximum strength of our parliament is 552. But now it is only 545. Okay. At present, our parliament include 545 members. But what is the maximum strength? It can be extended up to 552.
552.
The maximum strength of our Lok Sabha is 552 Lok Sabha is also called as the House of People. Its maximum strength is 552. Out of that, 530 members are elected from states and 20 members are elected from union territories. And the 2 members are nominated by the president from Anglo-Indian community. At present, the total number of members in Lok Sabha is 545. Clear? 552 is the maximum strength, okay? The Lok Sabha's strength can be maximum up to 552, but currently, at present, its total strength
Yes,
is,
ma'am.
currently its total strength is
545.
545. Then coming to Rajya Sabha, Rajya Sabha is called as Council of States. So Lok Sabha is called as House of People, and Rajya Sabha is called as the Council of States. Okay, that we can discuss in the next class. So please read this portion before the next class. Okay, thank you.